Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Pride. Today's live stream is going to be all about making passive income in true DeFi. I have Lucas Rubix from Underdog Investor Group, aka Crypto Labs, in the house today. He specializes in true DeFi. And Lucas, can you just tell us? Well, I know you did a video. I watch all your videos pretty much. And like the last one, you said, "What is like true DeFi?" What is your definition of true DeFi?
Yeah, I think the crypto space has a lot of really lazy investors who aren't actually investors or gamblers, and I say that with respect, of course. And there's nothing wrong with being a gambler, but when you're not aware you're gambling, you're in a very sticky situation of losing all your money and blaming crypto for it when it wasn't the crypto's fault. It's not the casino's fault. It's literally your fault, and that's okay. We just take responsibility for it. So I think I see a lot of people calling crypto and DeFi, and they're calling themselves investors. What they're really doing is they're gambling in a online casino that's centralized,
Mm-hmm.
and the chips are against you. And so true DeFi is really just leveraging true decentralized finance type projects and dexes, and you're not putting your username or password in there, and you're earning fees from the whole decentralized economy, just like a bank would. So fundamentally, you're becoming the bank instead of playing in a casino.
Yeah, I'm victim of one of those people too. I mean, I played high degen plays. I'm in all types of I guess DeFi projects that aren't true DeFi projects. And I came across your channel because I was trying to get into more like yield farm and stuff like that. And it's more to me, it's more reliable, it's more stable, it's more you don't have to worry so much as if your money's gonna be there the next day, if somebody's gonna rug pull on you. So
Totally.
I'm trying to get into more of true DeFi projects. And what is I guess how can I say this? What made you focus on true DeFi? In other words.
Yeah, when I think I got into crypto. I mean, 3 years ago is a long time in crypto and DeFi, but I really got into it 3 years ago. Started studying it, started reading every book, started studying how our blockchains actually build. Tried building my own blockchain, failed miserably, but I really went deep down the rabbit hole of understanding the technology. Had my aha moment. Did make some money in the last bull run. Half of it was luck. I'll just admit that. Half of it was buying it at the right time, kind of after the first dip. Bought a
Mm-hmm.
bunch. Met a friend at a park basically who lost a ton during the first little. He bought at the top, lost it, and I kind of looked at it and I was like, you know what, this ain't over, so I'll get it now. Got lucky. Didn't make as much as I could have because I waited too long. Really sat there and created my own strategies for this next bull run. Ever since then, dollar cost averaging into my portfolio, buying Bitcoin at 17 grand consistently all the way up to about 25. And then now I've just been riding the profits from that. And during that time, of course, back in the node season, which maybe you're aware of, because
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
when
everybody had
was
to
that?
know.
Maybe 2 years ago, year and a half ago? I don't
I
know,
had the
two,
crow nodes, all that stuff.
all that. Played with it. It was always a small portion of my portfolio, but played with it and started realizing that maybe a year and a half ago, I ran a calculation that on average, all the big projects were around for on average 62 days. So things like Stable Fund and what was the big one? PGV
Yeah.
raised that average a lot because they were around for longer, and some were only around for 30 days, but on average, they were around for 62 days. So I just figured if I can be in and out of a project like the degen projects in 28 days or less, I could make 30, 40, 50% of my money. And so I did that. Every project I'd get into on day one and on day 28, even if the project had, even PGV, out by 28 days, and didn't FOMO into the rest of it. So I was making 20, 30% of my money every single month in these degen plays. That was awesome until people started catching on, and then the average dropped. When it dropped below 30 days average, I knew
Mhm.
that now it's a losing game and I'll never win this game. So got out of the degen stuff, was looking for new opportunities, was doing some yield farming from back in the day, even like Radiant, like I was aware of it. It just wasn't my main focus. That became my main focus. And when I realized I could do 0.5% per day yield farming blue chip assets on big protocols like Uniswap, or doing 2% per days on dexes on Solana like Orca,
Mhm.
with blue chip assets like Souls and Renders, and well, Render's not a blue chip, but it's an AI token. But I just realized, and I could I was looking at my ARB. I'm in an ARB USDC position on Uniswap and Arbitrum, and I'm up almost 40% on that position, meaning that I got into it with X amount of dollars.
Mhm.
I've made 40% on it. That's been moved into my bull run. In the next 2 months, I'll have double my position for the bull run of ARB than I did before yield farming it. So, and we talk about yield on yield. So you made yield in the farm, and then you're going to make yield on the price appreciation of ARB to the tune of, I think, 10x plus. So, that's if you make 200% yield farming and then 10x on that, that's 2000% returns, which, I mean, this is generational wealth that we're in a season of. Anyone could create it if they commit to mastering DeFi and not being lazy.
Now, tell me about Crypto Labs. What made you want to start Crypto Labs? And tell us a bit about Crypto Labs. How long it's been around? Even how many members you have? Pricing, stuff like that.
Yeah, Crypto Labs was built on the tail end of a past business that was super lucrative. I just lost. It was kind of during around COVID. I don't want to get political here, but I wasn't a fan of what was happening here in Canada. So we actually moved to Mexico during COVID, so I could like walk around and do stuff. And during that time, my attention kind of shifted from the past business. We kind of shut it down. I spent a year just kind of taking time off and thinking about what was next for me. I was earning yield and making money in crypto personally. Family and friends were asking if I could manage their money or help them do it. I didn't want to hold anyone's money. I don't want to be responsible for that. So I asked, would you like me to show you what I'm doing? It started off as just a really small little community where I was showing people what I was doing. Seemed like the demand was there for it. And I didn't want to be the guy, and I'm not making this wrong. I just didn't want to be the guy who was taking money from projects as my form of monetization.
Mhm.
I didn't want to be the guy who was making money off referrals, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to have more control of what I shared, and I really, I'll kind of, I don't want to be under the control of anyone else's opinion of me. So I don't care if the crypto space or if other projects like me or don't. I don't need your money. I just want to find projects that are legit. And if you're legit, I'm happy to share your stuff, and we don't take a fee for it. So I wanted to monetize it, all my effort and the audience I was building in a different way. If you're not paying for something, then it's just a golden rule. Then you're the one being monetized. So on social media, if you don't pay for social media, then you are the product. If you pay for social media like YouTube Premium, now you're not the product, you're using the product. So I like paying for stuff, not getting it for free. We created Crypto Labs. It grew to 200 members within a few months. I knew there was a demand for it. I think we're teetering on 600 members, and we're trying to slow down the growth because at 1,000 we just shut down that community, and it's going to be a private community. We're also getting into acquisitions in 24. We already have the budget for it, and our members are going to be able to fractionally own portions of businesses that we'll be acquiring, and it's not for the passive income side of things because there's not going to be much of it. We're looking for 1 to 2 year turnarounds on these businesses. So basically baby boomer run businesses that they're retiring. They want to give the reins to someone else. We're going to buy these established businesses that don't use digital or social media marketing. We could kind of 2-3x the sales and the growth of it, turn around, sell it, and then on the exit, our members will make a really, really nice return if they choose to invest with us or not. And it'll be a closed group. So 1,000 members is kind of where we're closing it at.
Nice. And how long has it been running so far, Crypto
It's
Labs?
only been running for 2 years, and I'm pushing that 1.5 to 2 years. I think it's been running. I think we got our first member mid last year in the summer. Yeah, 1.5 years, maybe a little longer.
Now, just explain to people, when you join Crypto Labs, what is it that you actually get?
Oh boy, where could I start? You get access to, basically we have 3 sections there. We have deep educational sections, so education around true DeFi, education around crypto, the basics to the advanced. We have technical analysis. David runs that group, so it's very deep in technical analysis. He's been doing it for a decade. And so you can go as shallow or as deep as you want. I'd say we rival probably the best educational programs out there. Like we go really, really deep without overwhelming. Then you get investor groups. So we have 4 investor groups right now. Some are around building your bull run portfolio, some are around DeFi portfolio. We do have a group for the degen stuff if people want to play it. That's not monitored by us, and no referral links are ever shared. So that's just people playing the casino. 5% or less of your portfolio goes into degen stuff, and you can scratch the itch in there and have some fun, but we don't see it as investing. And we just opened up a side hustle entrepreneurship type performance group. We do attract a lot of people looking to make money outside of crypto and DeFi. So that's been a bit of a bonus for our members where we talk about that. So you could think of it like a Discord, except we don't use Discord. We use a private community. You've got your channels on the left. You've got different opportunities. We're always building stuff, whatever serves people. Then we do 5 live calls a week from TA calls, so people can bring in different assets they're looking at. Right now, Bonk was a really big one a month ago that was caught onto.
That took off.
INJ, yeah, Bonk was killing it. But people will bring their assets, and David runs TA calls every week where we look at different assets, support, resistance, trend lines, all that fun stuff. We do education calls on Tuesdays, so if people need a DeFi crypto education, Colin runs those. He's a wicked instructor teacher. End of week calls, so we do up. It takes us about 5 hours to do up investor reports for the week. So we look at market conditions, political landscape, like really go deep on the alpha and the macro and the micro of market conditions, so investors can kind of have a one up on the markets. We run an hour call around that, and yeah, and we are obsessed. We have 2 admins that work in Crypto Labs. Their full-time job is to get feedback from members and then relay it to us on how to make things better. So
wow. Now can you go over like the pricing, what it costs to join Crypto Labs?
It's $97 a month. Cancel anytime.
What was it again?
$97 a month. Cancel anytime. We do that because when I started in crypto DeFi, I joined 3 programs. I paid between $5,000 to $18,000 for each. I don't hesitate to invest in myself, and they were shit. Like, they weren't very good. And you're locked in. And we're like, we're going to create a community where it's monthly. If you're getting value, you stay. If you don't, then we don't hold you to it. And that forces us as a team and a business, because a business needs to make money. So we're focused on that as well, to actually improve and make sure that you're getting what you want, or we wouldn't have a business. And when we started it, I remember telling Colin, if we get 100 members and people are loving it, we'll keep it. If we don't, or people don't love it, then we'll just shut it down. Like, I don't need the money from it, but it's been just a passion project, which has turned into a business, which is turning into a company. And I think we can, we got some really big plans for 2024. And as long as people love it and are getting value from it, we'll run it. And if people at some point don't, for whatever reason, then we'll just shut it down.
Yeah, and I seen your video on app. Is it Aperture Finance?
Aperture, yep. We got an AMA with them, with our members on Monday.
And actually, I set up my own little LP pair with BNB and DAI.
BNB and what?
BNB and DAI.
Okay, cool.
It's making money. I mean, I'm like, that's my first, I guess, dive into the true DeFi world. So
love it. Aperture's a great tool. You can also dive into the strategies. So obviously track your impermanent loss and make sure that you're earning more than you may be facing an impermanent loss. And then when you rebalance, just remember, if you do rebalance, you will lock in your impermanent loss. And so one of our members created a strategy he calls the snuggle. And the snuggle is when you rebalance your allocation. But so if you get out of range, you can rebalance right up to the range, but not into the range. So you're not buying the asset, you're just snuggling the range. I don't know if that makes sense with where you're at in this stuff, but it's a wicked technique. So you can keep earning without always having to lock in impermanent loss all the time.
Right. So I guess you join a group down. Do you give people, I guess, like which platforms to get in? And what is like the average return per day, I would say, that you can probably make?
Yeah, we don't do daily because daily is still a gambling mentality. When someone is just starting, we do allow them to think daily. So because we want them get some quick wins. So if, hey, I'm making 3% or 2% a day, and they get really excited by it. Once they cross that, we're like, okay, we're going to stop thinking daily. We're going to start thinking monthly. Our target is 10% a month on average. I think people in crypto and DeFi have been desensitized to how much that actually is in the real world. So we go for 10% a month. We typically hit our 10% a month. Sometimes it's a few percent more. Sometimes it's less. That's not with portfolio appreciation. That's just from yields. Those numbers are a lot bigger right now because markets are looking really juicy. So I think our AVAX position is up 148% this last month, which is crazy. So that's yields and price appreciation on top of that. Yep, we do share positions. We run a true DeFi call on Wednesdays where we go over all our positions, take requests for positions. We also release a Friday report, which was today, of our top positions. Mine was ARB USDC, Wrapped AVAX, and USDC, and USDT on it's a DEX on Solana. So I'll share my top 4 or 5. Colin shares his top 4 or 5. David shares his top 4 or 5. And then we have a 6-figure DeFi earner challenge inside the Underdog Investor Group.
Wow.
It breaks things down from $3 a day, $10 a day, 50, 100, 200, and 300. And we start thinking daily all the way to monthly at the end and all the way to 100K yearly at the end. Why I share that is because within that, we'll guide people to getting into a wide range liquidity pool for your, to make $100 a month, a really simple blue chip AVAX USDC, BNB DAI could possibly
Yeah.
do that. I don't know what the yields are on that. Once you do that, we get into a concentrated liquidity pool. Once you do that, we get into level 3 plays, which are more aggregators and optimizers. We start building out your portfolio and we apply new strategies as you build your portfolio because your experience is growing. So we can start thinking of even liquidity pools that you can like leverage liquidity pools on blue chip assets. Not a bad way to go. Lending and borrowing. So if you have a big position in Bitcoin, you can actually, or let's say liquid staking for Solana on like Marinade, you can liquid stake your Solana, be earning 8% on that, get Solana back, swap it for USDC, then use that to earn further yield. So we start applying more and more advanced strategies, but only when you're working through the challenge and you're leveling up. Yeah, that's probably too much info, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, as far as like you said, you go with strategies, what you got coming for the week. You have 5 calls a week, you said?
Yeah, between 4 and 5, sometimes
Cool.
more. Like we held one today, and then David is doing one right after on his top 10 positions for liquidity pools.
Mhm.
Colin is holding one on Sunday, a bit of a bonus call on. He's going to be sharing his screen for an hour as he hunts for new opportunities so people can see exactly how he does it, like teach them to fish and not
Yeah.
give them the fish. So usually 4, sometimes more.
Now, do you also recommend people to get out of certain positions, or it's totally up to them, or you just pretty much
Up
show them
to
the
them.
blueprint?
We share when we are getting out of something. So David yesterday shared a big position he was in. He got out of it and why. And it's the why that matters because it no longer fit. He saw bigger opportunities on different dexes on Solana and getting exposure to, different airdrops, etc. So that's why. Not that the pool was bad, it just wasn't the highest opportunity for him. So we don't really get into risky gambly pools. So
Mhm.
there's really no reason to panic and exit anything. It's just, does it fit your portfolio and your goals? Is
Gotcha.
it underperforming, overperforming? What is the underlying asset doing? What's the narrative around that underlying assets, and are they still bullish, bearish? Are you in correlated pairs? Correlated pairs meaning you're pretty bullish, so you want to get into correlated pairs. Like, yeah, we want to teach people so they can come join the conversation, and even newbies, like within 60 days,
Mhm.
they're joining those conversations and they feel like they're in control and they're not just listening to this weird Lucas guy who always be skeptical when you're listening to people on the internet. They're not just, oh, Lucas said to do it. They're just like, oh, Lucas said that. Here's why. But you know what? It doesn't really fit my portfolio. So although that's a good idea, I'm going to pass. And I'm like, that's when I know people are winning. Or they're like, hey, Lucas, I love that, but I'm going to go into lower allocation. I'm going to move some ARB over here. And here's why. And I'm like, that's totally right for you, not right for me. And I want just people having that level of conversation in this space because it's lacking massively and people are just freaking losing all their money because
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just moving. I see it come people trending more towards, true, like I said, true DeFi, yield farming, making passive income, like I said, without having to, watch over your back if the project's going to
yeah.
rug or not. Now, can you explain? Because I was on the kind of site today. I signed up for it and explain to you the NFTs.
Sure. Yeah. The NFTs have no utility. We do
Right,
them.
that's what I thought. I just want to make sure. I didn't know if
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah. No
bonus pool.
utility because we were going to just do certificates. So as you work through different levels of your
Mhm.
DeFi challenge, which goes up to 100K a year, you earned a certificate. We thought we would mint some NFTs on the blockchain and then zap them and airdrop them into someone's wallet because for many people, that's their first experience with NFTs, and so we use it as a learning opportunity to import the NFT, move it to a different wallet. We used it as that, and they're always up there. So I think it's just kind of cool for many people. It's their first NFT in their wallet that's spinning and is kind of a certificate of completion. So
Right.
that's all they are. We've gamified the journey inside the
Okay.
UIG to have people look forward to earning a trophy.
All right. Now, is there anything else you want the people to know about Crypto Labs, or just
Yeah, I just want people to yeah, Crypto Labs is great. We love what we do. It's a great community. It's a great place. And if it's not for you, you're not going to be down for very long. We barely have anyone leave. So that's that. I think for the DeFi stuff, if someone doesn't want to join any program or wants stuff for free on YouTube, totally legit. It's why we have a YouTube channel, why you do what you do probably in a way. But
I mean, even your YouTube channel, you're dropping gems every single week on your YouTube channel as well. I mean, definitely give Crypto Labs a follow, guys.
well, and it's like I think I've built 4 businesses in the last decade, and we're kind of working on a secret project right now. I do feel like the businesses that will succeed, and this is so to anyone who's starting a YouTube channel or doing something in the online space, the businesses that will succeed are the ones who aren't afraid to give all their knowledge and like just give it away
Right.
for free.
Free game, yeah.
The information should be free, but it's the implementation that I have zero hesitation to charge for. And when you do it that way, you'll never feel guilty as a business owner for charging what you do. So when someone attacks me being like, I can't believe you charge $97 a month, I zero feel the effect of that in my subconscious or in my soul and spirit because I know I'm fully aligned. You don't want to pay the $97, that's fine. Go grab the free stuff. You'll just have to sort through it a little bit more. If you want my time and energy, and if you want to hang out with me and the team, and you actually want us to look at your portfolio, we charge for that. We charge $97 for that. Like, it's not, you see the value or you don't. We don't have to sell you on it. And so I think anyone who's creating content, work on delivering, like, don't hold it back. Like, just go for it. And however you choose to monetize it, you'll feel good at night when you're making money, and you'll have longevity in your business. So we don't hesitate to always be sharing stuff. We don't share referral links because that keeps me aligned. In the past, we have, like a year and a half ago, we were doing that. But when I realized people were joining these projects without an understanding of why they were joining them, they were losing money. And I didn't feel good about that. So if we ever share something, there's no referral link. We don't get paid from it. We don't charge to have a project come, we even Aperture, we're doing it within our community because if we shared it on YouTube, I think people would get excited by it and get into different positions without fully knowing what they're doing. And then they would lose money and blame it on Aperture or blame it on us with their strategy to it. So like you, test it with a little bit, B&B and DAI, get a feel for it, learn the ropes, and then grow from there. So yeah, and just ask, like, am I in control of my money?
Yeah.
And if you think that your money could disappear on you tomorrow, probably don't get into it. Like, stop feeding those teams capital to keep doing what they're doing. Like, let's say you put $1,000 in something and you're hoping to make 1% per day. Even if it lasts 10 days and you make 10%, you're going to lose your $1,000. First of all, is the $100 going to change your life? Probably not. Is it worth it? Probably not. What if you put $1,000 into something and maybe you're making half as much, but there's longevity, you're in control of your liquidity? I'll do that all. I'll make a third. I'll make a tenth less if it means I never lose my money, because it's the people losing their money that you will never get ahead. Like, to recover from a loss takes a very long time. So I'd rather make a tenth as much in something stable, but never lose my money, than what most people are playing, which they're playing a losing game.
Okay, got you.
It's just gambling, dude. I just got back from Vegas and I was in I don't gamble, I don't drink, but I entered a casino, I don't know, MGM Grand, whatever we were. And I hate Vegas. And I was walking through and I had $10 in my pocket. So with the girlfriend, I'm like, hey, let's just play some machines. I got $10, like, whatever. Let's just experience Vegas. And dude, I don't care about $10. And I already was like, dude, I'm just wasting this $10, but we'll just do it as just for fun, right? And I looked around and I saw, and this is judgmental, but at the same time, judging is healthy. Why I'm saying that is, if you see someone doing something that you know is wrong and you judge it, that's a great reflection of, I'm not talking about someone's body weight or what they look like. Like, I'm not talking that. I'm talking their actions and behaviors. And you can judge for yourself whether that's an action or behavior that you want to partake in or not, based upon your morals and your alignment. So I was sitting there and I was watching people pull the lever, and they weren't smiling. Like, they weren't there to have fun. They were there because they were gambling, addicted, smoking cigarettes, drinking, and pulling this thing. Like, some people were couples having fun, experiencing Vegas. That's so totally cool. And I got so freaking sad for all of Vegas, just like what a cancer this is. And then I got home that night and I actually thought, most people are doing that on their computers at night, kind of disassociated from society, most likely lonely, and they're hitting these keys, hoping to make it big, and they're gambling in private, which is probably even worse because it's accessible to you at any moment on this thing. And you just do it when you're feeling depressed. And most of us have holes to fill, which is fine. But to try to fill a hole by doing something external is just going to make that hole bigger. Like, the only way to fix that hole is internal. And I think the phones are so accessible to us now that people are gambling in DeFi trying to fill a hole. And it's sad, if not sadder, than what goes on in Vegas. Whereas, what if you could fill that hole and find fulfillment in what you do? And then you allocate a small percentage of your portfolio to play these gamble plays, because it is fun.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for the fun of it, not because you're depressed and you're looking for a distraction. And so I think about that a lot when I see new projects shared and new things. And I'm just like, I don't think it's a net positive for Web3.
Gotcha. My last question is, I don't know, the price is $97 a month. What is like a good starting capital to have to even join,
$1 grand.
$1 grand?
I'd say $1 grand. I mean, we get that question all the time. People join with a lot less, and we always remind them this is for your education. So don't expect you're not going to get rich. It's not going to happen. But if you want to get educated, then it's totally worth it. If you see it as an investment in education, if you're looking to cover the fees and make, then $1 grand at least. And we have someone who has an $8 million portfolio, and ridiculous range of people. And even with them, I'm like, we're going to start with $1 grand, because if you can make 10% on $1 grand, you can make 10% on 8 million. And if you lose 50% on your grand because you're learning this stuff, you're going to lose $500. If you lose 50% on 8 million, you're going to lose 4 million, and you're probably not going to be happy. So no matter how much you have, we still want to start with a smaller amount. Let's learn how to make 10% monthly on it. And then once you feel confident, you can add a zero, or you can add capital into your portfolio. So 10% a month is infinitely scalable for the most part. If you have $1 grand, 10 grand, or $10 million, the returns are going to be 10% on that.
Right. Last question. All these recordings that you do, they're recorded inside the Crypto Labs, right? So you can go back and watch.
Yep. We have each group has the call recording posted. So there's a live calendar page that shows all the events for the next couple months. And then you can go in the past and you can see all the past events, and you can click on them and watch the recordings. They're about 45 minutes long each. Well,
that's all the questions I had, guys. If you're interested in Crypto Labs, making money in true DeFi, make sure you hit the link in the description below. Get 20% off if you decide to join. And thank you, Lucas, for coming on the channel. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for what you do, and keep educating people on most people's entry into crypto and DeFi is the click projects. And I think that's totally fine. Once you get exposure to it, I'm just like, it's a
diversify. That's what I'm working on. Diversify. I like the degen plays, but I'm gonna get more into the true DeFi and join Crypto Labs.
Good. And even if you don't join Crypto Labs, like follow Crypto Pride and follow other people who are promoting or talking about that, because you can. I promise you, if you I can't promise you, but if you take crypto and DeFi seriously, I do think that it is going to be an industry that is going to explode. And so I knew a 20-year-old who was making around $3 million a year. I was not making $3 million a year. And so I don't care if I'm 10 years older than you. I'm going to ask you for, what do you know that I don't? He was 20 years old. He was running a social media marketing agency. he was helping 40 plus, 50 plus year olds or 30 plus year olds when social media was getting big, helping them manage their social media portfolios or for their businesses and charging 10, 12 grand to do so. Wasn't rocket science, but no one knew how to do that stuff. So he was getting paid well for the skills because as a 20-year-old, he grew up with social media. And I think with crypto and DeFi, even if you know a little, I think there's going to be opportunities for businesses and consultancies and agencies to be built to help Web 2, which is the entire world, migrate into Web 3. I see it as you're developing a skill set that is going to be in demand in the next 5 years that will have a disproportionate level of pay in terms of if you want to serve at McDonald's, there's nothing wrong with that, but anyone can serve at McDonald's. So you're not going to get paid really well. But if you have a skill set that not many other people have, even if it's easier than working at McDonald's flipping burgers, you can get paid 100 times more for it for your skill set. So to me, I'm excited for the wave of entrepreneurs that are going to be built because of Web3, because they're learning this stuff now and taking their education seriously. Right. So it's all about positioning. And if you want to make money, I just got to share this. If you want to make money, and this is what a 20-year-old shared with me, he looked ahead and he's like, I just thought about positioning. How can I position myself ahead of the curve, build something so when the momentum hits me, I'm already there and everyone else will be following me. And he built a massive agency at 20 years old, retired his parents, bought his parents' houses and all that. And that stuck with me. I was a trend chaser back in the day. Oh, this is blowing up. Now we'll chase it. And I was always just getting the breadcrumbs. When I started thinking, like, what's coming in the next 2 years? Cool, let's start building something for that. I can delay making the big bucks right now. Let me build. We built Crypto Labs through the worst of the bear market. And it's paid off very well financially in all levels because it was positioning. And I think we're still really early. Yeah. So I got to share that little tidbit because that thing changed my life, that way of thinking.
Thank you. Like I said, thanks again, man. Appreciate you coming on the channel. And hopefully we do another AMA on your channel soon when I join Crypto Labs.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Appreciate you, sir.
No problem. Thank you. In the stream.